Hello and welcome to This Is. An apple a day will keep the Android fanboys away.
You know, I never know what intros he's gonna do. I don't think you know what the intro is gonna be until it starts coming out of your mouth. Today, we're gonna be talking about Apple products, you know, from the Cupertino Corporation, not from the fruit. So Kenzie has prepared a selection of various Apple products, and we're going to tier list them with our patented This Is tier list. Don't steal it. We invented this. We're the only ones who've ever done this. So, would you like to take the first pick, my friend?
No. I want you to do it.
Well, we're gonna establish the vibe with modern iPhones. I think we should say iPhone 10 anyway. I think there's a real argument that in 2017, it was the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. If you look at the original iPhone versus the iPhone 10, in 10 years, that was a crazy jump. Face ID, OLED screen finally on an iPhone, no giant bezels. There's no way this can be that low down on the tier list. The iPhones have been, I would say, generally speaking, pretty great. The Mini,
all that matters.
5G, like that was like a huge upgrade. It's hard to say that this should be like S tier, maybe even A tier, just because while the phones have advanced, they haven't like dramatically changed. If you pick up an iPhone 10 that's almost 10 years old versus an iPhone 17, there's differences, but you can see, you know, there's a clear evolution. You put an iPhone 2G next to an iPhone 10, it looks like from a damn space dimension.
Maybe this is a hot take. Maybe it's a medium take. Maybe it's not a take at all.
It's a rare take.
I prefer the notch over the island.
Nah. What's wrong with the island? You're a big fan of islands.
Yeah, because I could be alone and not see people.
What's your gut on this? I'm leaning a little bit more like A to B.
I feel like this is the most B.
Yeah, it's kind of like this is like the default. You're either like better or worse, but this is kind of like sets the standard. I'm with that. Okay.
Yeah. Because like, they're fine. Phones have been really good for a really long time. It's hard to revolutionize really good.
If that's our first item, it'll kind of help to set the stage for like stuff that was crazy revolutionary and stuff that was dog doo-doo. Would you like to go next?
No.
Why do you keep making me pick?
Why not?
Apple Watch. Maybe a little bit of a controversial take. Actually pretty high on this list. Because the Apple Watch really did reset what smartwatches could be. Obviously, it was like Moto 360 and Galaxy Watch before it. But the Apple Watch came out of the gate so much better than the competition. I think there's a real argument to be made that the Apple Watch is still kind of the best smartwatch out there.
I used to be a watch boy, and I have soured on the smartwatch. With my health journey, I actually found it better for me to take the watch off and stop tracking all this stuff.
That's a really good call.
It poking you at 11 o'clock at night, being like, hey, you could still get a run in right now.
Like,
was not helpful.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to say that this is down on the tier list for me.
Okay. If we were doing this video maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, there was a period of time in which I actually thought the Apple Watch was maybe one of the best Apple products they made.
I agree with you.
Because I think
3 years ago.
You look at like the health stuff, but as time has gone on, I don't want notifications.
No, I turned all my notifications.
Yeah, and I don't want it to bug me. Exactly. I don't want it to be like, hey, stand up, hey, do this. Like, I find that it is a utility for tracking health data. And honestly, if I was buying a new product today, I'd probably do something like a Fitbit. But that being said, if you're talking about smartwatches, I actually would still argue for this to be quite high. I know that we've soured on it a little bit, but that has nothing to do with the product, really. I think it's just like we've changed.
That's the product, but like this is how we rank them.
Just because we've both stopped using them in the last couple of years.
But I think that we both stopped using it is telling. I will give it no higher than a B.
Okay, I think B feels fair.
Okay, all right.
Thank you to Gamesir for sponsoring this video. Whether you're a new player or a seasoned expert on PC, you deserve a great controller. That's why Gamesir sent us this, their upgraded brand new Tarantula 8K, no spiders included, thankfully.
Say goodbye to input lag. The Tarantula 8K features 8,000 hertz polling rate and ultra low latency 0.25 millisecond response over wired connection. It feels great too. It's got these nice Gen 2 Gamesir MagRes TMR sticks. They use magnets for long lasting reliability against stick drift, and the new version controls smoother and more linear than ever.
Plus, the triggers allow you to easily switch between Hall effect analog control and clicking micro switch responsiveness. You'll also find esports grade responsiveness in the micro switch ABXY buttons, and there's also a built-in 6-axis gyroscope for aiming accuracy and fine control.
The Tarantula 8K is also super customizable. It's got 9 remappable macro buttons on the front, back, and bumper areas. Each supports up to 32-step macro recording. You can also tap into further esports grade customization with Gamesir's Connect software, where you can easily tweak macros, performance, and button mapping.
At just 180 grams, the Tarantula 8K is super lightweight to keep the stress off your hands, which means you can play longer with no worries. Are you ready to bring the next level of precision, speed, and customization to gameplay? Check out the link in the description And thank you again to Gamesir for sponsoring this episode. Get one.
Pre-X iPhone.
Ha! So then the first generation of iPhones. This actually goes really nicely with the modern iPhones. So this is an S tier. The first 10 years of the iPhone changed the world in a very real way. And I know I sound like a big old fanboy, but look, try to imagine what smartphones, which were hardly a thing in any kind of real significant numbers before the iPhone. I will make a very firm argument. The first 10 years of the iPhone were some of the most important pieces of tech of all time.
Did you have early iPhones?
No, because I was poor.
Cool. 4 was great. 3 kind of sucked.
You're trying to tell me that the iPhone 3G was not an important good phone. It's not just what we're feeling right now. It's got to be like...
It is what we're feeling right now. Feelings happen all the time.
Feelings aren't real.
What?
If you pretend...
You are the worst
Take
therapist.
your feelings, put them in a box, close the lid. They'll never explode on you at a random point in the future.
Wow.
When we do these tier lists,
Yeah.
one of the rules we have
is we have to argue.
There's only one S.
Name, just gut reaction. Don't think about it. What is your S tier Apple product? It's iPhone.
It's not.
Fine. If you feel that strongly, we can give it an A.
I'll give you A. It's not S to me.
Okay.
Pull out your phones right now. Notice I said phones because he has multiple.
I have Fold 8 Ultra, I'm testing, and iPhone Air.
The fact that you have an Android means that iPhone is not S tier. That means you're not getting something at home. So you have to go out and find something new.
That was a self-report. I just want everyone to know that's the way Matt's brain works.
I'm a bachelor, all right? I can go anywhere and everywhere.
But you won't because you're being loyal to Apple.
Okay, I'm monogamous when it comes to phones.
You can't afford to.
Oh, shit. All right, you get to go next, my friend.
Okay. iPads.
Ugh. Sorry.
I'm not willing to put this higher than a C. If we had done this when it came out, S tier.
I actually don't even think the iPad was that great in 2010. Like, it was a good tablet. I think it took a couple years for it to hit its stride.
Yeah.
I think the iPad does feel like it's this sort of like in no man's land because, hey, what about your iPhone, but it's just bigger? And then over time, they keep going, oh, but what if it's a little bit like a Mac?
Yeah.
Not too much like a Mac, but a little bit like a Mac. If you want to step up to the iPad Pro, it is legitimately an incredible little computer, but it's really hamstrung by iPad OS. It's not a Mac. It's not a computer. It is something different. It's hard to get excited for. Like, it's worse than these products. I will agree with that.
I honestly, with the iPad, I think it's too little too late.
At this point, the iPhone's going to take over because there's going to be a foldable iPhone, which is basically just an iPad in your pocket.
Yep.
The iPad's on like a sinking island, but I think it's a solid C, right?
Yeah, I'll give it
Right?
C. I'll give it C. I'll
It's
see
definitely
it.
worth a C. The Newton. Oh, now we're going old school. This was in the malaise era of Apple where, Steve Jobs had been gone for a while. The Mac wasn't doing well. They were kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall. Probably the most important thing that the Newton gave the world was ARM processors. This actually is like the great-great-grandpappy of like almost every device we use today. This was also, I think, an old school iPad in a lot of ways because it didn't do a whole lot. It certainly was not as good as a whole computer. It had decent battery life and it was a smaller form factor, but also no one really bought them.
I'm between C and D on it, but
It's worse than an iPad.
Yeah. Okay. Magic mouse and keyboard.
F. Moving on.
Yeah.
The keyboard's okay, but it's not good. It's basically just like a MacBook keyboard on your desk, and the Magic Mouse is the F- tier.
That's the problem is like, I think that the Magic Mouse is a really good mouse.
Go ahead. It's a what?
Until you have to charge it.
No, a Magic Mouse is only good if you have like freaking Dracula hands. F.
Look, I'm not arguing more
F,
than an F.
thank you.
I'm just saying I like to touch stuff.
Modern iMacs. Okay, so this would be the Apple Silicon iMac, but also the whole generation of like the super thin taper designs and whatnot. iMacs are good, man. I feel like they're not the most exciting system. It was probably a little bit more exciting back when they had the different sizes.
I preferred an 27-inch iMac for a lot of my career. When I switched away and started having like actual monitors,
Yeah.
I missed having the bottom chin.
The chin?
I use that chin strategically. Like Jay Leno, like Post-it notes went there.
My ideal version of an iMac is actually just looking like one of the like studio displays or something. But I think modern iMacs are a solid C at least, right?
I would give it B. G3 era iMacs.
Okay, this is pretty high up. Because this computer saved Apple.
This was just fun. It had the matching keyboards. It had the matching mouse. The mouse sucked.
I'm definitely supportive of this being really high up because I think that this was an important system. It was such a cool design. It really kind of reset Apple. I think it was legitimately a great device. I'm very supportive of this going pretty high up the list, but I didn't actually use one back when they were new.
I'm not going to make the argument for S, but I could have been swayed.
I don't think it's S, but I think it's up there.
It's up there. So I'm going to do A.
Okay. The Bandai Pippin. Hey kids, do you know the story of the Steam Machine? This device that has a beautiful interface and is maybe a little too expensive. Well, imagine that, except it was a Mac in 1990. It was a game console that was really just a Mac underneath. It was an interesting idea, but it was also very much, again, that terrible era of Apple where they're just throwing shit at the wall. They were like, hey, there are a lot of games that work for Macs. Hey, we make Macs. Hey, we're running out of money. Sure, why not? It's F, right?
It's got to be F.
This is bad.
It's got to be F. Ooh, the Intel MacBooks.
This is basically what, from 2006 to 2020. There's like kind of two halves of the story. The first half was Intel kind of replaced the old PowerPC, and I would say for 2/3 of this era, it was fantastic. The laptops were great. I mean, this is where you get like the awesome unibody designs. You got the MacBook Air, which is one of the most important laptops of all time. But toward the end of that life cycle, Intel was starting to fall off. The chips were running hot. The fanless MacBook was a disaster, largely because the chip wasn't really good enough to actually support it. I also used a 15-inch/16-inch MacBook Pro in this era because that was like the only laptop that was able to run Mac OS that could edit. I still think it's a solid A or B. You've got 14 years of MacBooks, and I would argue that 10 of those years have some of the best laptops of all time. A couple of them fell off at the end, but I don't think that's enough to knock it down to B. I think it's at least an A. You're trying to tell me that every Intel MacBook is not as good as the G3 iMac? Like, I feel like this is better than this.
Apples to oranges. When the Touch Bar MacBook came out,
Yep, that definitely.
I was so disappointed with it.
Sure.
I'm an Apple fanboy, and I'm like, dude, I can't support.
You really want
like,
to be?
I want to be.
Okay. Vision Pro.
F.
No, I actually don't agree.
What?
The Vision Pro is an incredible piece of tech.
Sure.
Right? Like the actual tech that they fit in there between the sensors, the pass-through cameras, the fact that you got a whole lot of MacBook basically sitting on your face. The Vision Pro is not a sterling product. I don't think anyone really is surprised by that. I am arguing for above F. That's what I'm arguing for, to be clear. I think it is C or D. I don't think most people should buy one. I don't think that it has like a great future. I think though that from a purely technical perspective, you can just pin windows and walk around and they stick. There's actually like real things you can do. You can connect it to your, your Mac virtually. I feel like it's C or D, right?
No, it's not C. It's
Okay,
a D.
we'll give it D.
It's D or F, and I'll compromise for a D.
It is a flawed product, but it's also cool.
I'm flawed but cool.
Mostly just flawed.
Wabi sabi, man. All right, we got the iPods.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a lot of products.
You asked me what my S could be.
It's not an iPod. Absolutely not.
This revolutionized everything.
The iPod was tremendously popular. You talk about like the G3 iMac kind of helping to push Apple forward in the iBook. The iPod is what really took Apple from being like, in the dumps to kind of coming up to like sort of skyrocketing. Every modern Apple product draws a line to the iPod one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm with you. iPod should go high, but also I think it's a testament to forward thinking that Apple are happy to kill products. That is a good thing. More companies should do that as opposed to holding on to, clinging on to like past glory.
But there is also a huge testament. A totally new generation of users are coming back to an iPod. It's not huge movement, but it is gaining traction.
A.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
I
you
think
go.
A feels fair. No.
It's in A. It's a gentle little.
I don't like this. Okay. The Mac Pro. So this would be all Mac Pros. So there's the original cheese grater.
Yep.
There's the trash can.
Yep.
Then there was the cheese grater 2.0, and
Yep.
which is now dead.
I'm not going to be delusional and say that this is super high up. I think they are way better than a lot of people gave them credit for.
Yeah. They were not just regular desktops, right? Like Mac Pros were built to a higher spec.
This is my gripe when it got re-released and Marquez did it. It's like, this is like a $7,000 like desktop. It's like, who's paying it? That was pennies. When I worked in like recording studios,
Yeah.
that pro machine was meant for pro work. That's how we were recording at the time, 192 tracks at a time. Like, this is not something you could just do on your phone like you could do
I will
now.
say I have basically never walked into a recording studio that didn't have a Mac Pro somewhere in the back. And the same thing with edits too, right? Obviously, we're a little bit biased because we're kind of more in this sort of field, but the Mac Pro is a product that we both used for many years. We've seen in tons and tons of environments. But that being said, the Mac Pro has come and gone. It had definitely had its peaks and it had its real valleys. I think it's a C. I think that seems pretty fair. It's definitely better than like Vision Pro, right?
Yeah. See how I didn't argue that there's like a beautiful tech that went into it, so should be a B.
Okay, then why don't you pick the next item?
AirPods. I will say I don't think they're anything special.
Interesting. Really? I thought you were gonna be way more bullish. Even I, as someone who does not use AirPods on a regular basis, could actually make a real argument for AirPods being S. If you look at headphones, there's an era before and after AirPods, right? It's a very clear distinction. AirPods made Bluetooth earbuds feasible for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like there were some earbuds before, but we're talking like Better Call Saul, like big things before AirPods. If a product, 12 years into its lifespan, you're making arguments that a lot of these features are just kind of being sort of caught up by other sort of brands. I'm not making a serious argument for us. I just want to be clear, because again, I don't use them. I'm saying this from the perspective of a guy who uses AirPods as a tourist, and I go back to my Sonys. But AirPods, I think are a strong A. A?
A.
Easy A. Oh, old school Macs. The old school Macs are before both of our times when they were actually like new. I think that there's a real argument that this has obviously the historical value. These were so good that it sustained Apple for like 15 years.
Honestly, like I think these might be overhyped just because of Steve Jobs. A or B?
Oh, I was gonna actually say C.
C? Okay.
I think
okay. See, I can compromise.
This is, I will say, a good list. I'm still really worried. I know there's one we haven't talked about that I'm sure is coming up that is kind of getting put into S. I still kind of want to make an argument for moving the board before the end, but we'll
We
get there.
can't move boards later.
We actually just cheat because we can do it.
So we have 2 left. Let's let them go head to head here.
What? Why did you take my...
I know which one I want.
Apple Silicon MacBooks
versus the Mac Mini.
The Mac Mini is a perfectly reasonable little guy.
S tier.
Mac Mini? Dude, no shot, dude. No
Are
shot.
you kidding me?
Out of here.
We switched our entire edit staff to Mac Minis.
The Mac Mini being the greatest Apple product of all time is the hottest of hot takes I've ever heard in my life. Absolutely
you can configure this thing with 96 gigs of RAM.
Give me the real pitch on why you think the Mac Mini deserves S tier, because I just don't. I'm not buying it.
One, super cheap.
We were super cheap. They used to be $600 with 16 gigs of RAM. That's not the case anymore.
For like a desktop system.
Yeah, Mac Minis are fantastic. We have a bunch of them.
Absolutely sip electricity. Not slurp. Sip. Just they're little gentlemen.
We're not talking about the greatest Apple products of all time on what your power bill is. This is the craziest take I've ever heard in my entire life.
This is the craziest.
Mac Mini is a very respectable C, maybe B tier if you're stretching it. S tier is absolutely out of your mind.
You wear Meta glasses.
Not anymore. My item here, which I'm actually okay with arguing for, Apple Silicon MacBooks. Unlike this whole era of okay, decent, kind of good, pretty solid systems, Apple Silicon MacBooks changed the PC industry. We're 6 years in, and PC companies are still kind of trying to catch up with where Apple were in 2020. There's not a bad Apple Silicon MacBook they've ever made. The M1, they sold that new at Walmart for like 5 straight years. The MacBook Pros, I will say, are a huge step up.
You could make all these arguments for the Mac Mini.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
no,
you can.
cannot. The Mac Mini is a nice little desktop. It's totally, like, the new one is a good laptop.
90% of what you want to do.
Okay, but this is a portable laptop. Like, this remade laptops. MacBook Neo, probably one of the best budget laptops you can get right now. The MacBook Air, use a MacBook Air right now, fantastic laptop. You've got Apple Silicon that still is super competitive. NVIDIA are finally bringing out a chip to go head to head with it after like 6 years. If you just said the M1 MacBook by itself, there's an argument for S. You put all of them together, get this shit out of here, man. S tier, I rest my case.
Let us know what your S tier is. Apparently, this is not a democracy anymore. Like, follow, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.
Where would you put the MacBook? Where would you put the MacBook?
Hey.
Get out of here.
Our couples therapist is going to be hearing about this.